The man who steals sighs. They usually say banks were cold places. White lights, red numbers, tense silences, people waiting, people calculating, people afraid of losing. Manuel walked in as if none of that touched him. A dark suit, perfectly tailored, polished shoes, a discreet watch, not flashy, but impossible to ignore. He moved slowly, with the ease of someone beyond the need to impress. He was never in a hurry. The first bank was an accident, or so he chose to believe. The first employee was Laura, brown hair falling over one shoulder, natural lips, a practical gaze, the kind of woman who had learned not to get distracted. "Good morning," he said, resting his fingers on the marble counter. Laura looked up, and something, imperceptible to anyone but him, shifted in her expression. Manuel knew how to read micro-expressions, the slight dilation of pupils, the breath becoming just a little deeper, the silence that lasts half a second longer than usual. "How can I help you?" she asked professionally. "I suppose I'm about to find out." It wasn't a rude line. He said it with a soft smile, as if they shared a secret that didn't yet exist. For weeks, he came back. He never wore the same cologne 2 days in a row. He never used the same tone of voice with 2 different women. He observed, studied, understood. With Laura, he discovered she liked men who knew how to listen, so he listened. With Marta, at another branch, he sensed she valued confidence, so he was firm. With Clara, it was different. Clara didn't fall easily. Her serenity carried a quiet defiance. She looked at him as if trying to decipher him, and that fascinated him. "You come here too often," she said one Wednesday, printing some documents. "Does it bother you?" "It intrigues me." That word disarmed him more than anything else. They began to meet outside the bank. Nothing improvised. He knew how to wait for the exact moment to suggest it. A cafe with dim lights, a table by the window, conversations that didn't seem rehearsed, but were. One night, Clara took her glasses off and looked straight at him. "You don't seem like a man who needs to come to a bank this often." "I don't." "Then why do you come?" Manuel held her gaze and hurried, unblinking. "Because I like the way you look at me when you pretend you're not interested in me." The silence between them grew dense, the kind of silence that pulses. He never touched her without permission, never invaded her space, but every gesture hummed with a quiet electricity. A subtle graze of fingers as the cup changed hands, a light hand at her lower back as they made their way across the street. A closeness that wasn't accidental. Clara began to expect him, and that was what Manuel truly stole. Anticipation. Not money, not jewelry, not votes. The moment before. The held breath. The skin that tingles when someone comes too close. In time, some of them fell in love, or believed they did. He never promised anything. He never spoke about the future. He only built an intense present, almost addictive. And then, when the flame was at its perfect point, neither too high nor fading, he disappeared. No dramatic goodbyes, no explanations, just absence. But Clara was not like the others. One night, as they walked under the warm light of a street lamp, she stopped. "You'll leave," she said without reproach. Manuel didn't answer right away. Would it bother you? It would hurt, but it wouldn't surprise me. He looked at her like he had never looked at anyone before. It was no longer a strategy game. It was something beginning to slip out of his control. Clara stepped close enough for her breath to brush his. You don't steal money, she whispered. You steal the feeling of being chosen. That night was the first time Manuel didn't have a prepared answer. He kissed her slowly, in no hurry at all, as if time could stretch indefinitely. There were no promises, no vows, just a kiss that made it clear that they both knew exactly what was happening. The next morning, he didn't show up at the bank. Clara smiled when she saw the empty counter, because this time she didn't feel like the victim of a thief. She felt like an accomplice. Manuel kept visiting banks in other cities, always elegant, always proper, always leaving behind glances that took months to fade. But every now and then, when he walked into a new branch and someone smiled at him with interest, he thought of Clara, and of the one time he almost stayed, because there are men who steal out of need, and others who steal out of desire. And then there are those who discover too late that the most dangerous thing is not falling in love, it's staying. Author Jose Pardal, narrated by Rachel Gribler.